Hey folks, Doug Holmes here of Downburst Cedars. Just a little update on some of the switchgrass plantings that I did this spring. Um, this little spot here, we've got, this is, I don't even know how many acres, not even less than a tenth of an acre. Probably just a tiny little spot. We basically want to screen off the clover plot that's kind of further just up over the hill here. So this was RC Big Rock. I planted this at 10 pounds an acre, and I planted it May 27th. Today is July 26th, so almost exactly 2 months ago. And I'm very happy with how this is looking. You can see basically all of that taller grass out there is switchgrass. So I think it's coming in pretty nice. For 2-month-old switchgrass, I think we're off to a good start here. And I did this, I think I talked about it in a previous video and on the Habitat podcast. Tried a different method with this. Basically did everything this spring. I didn't do any prep work prior last year. So if the rest of our spots look as good as this, I think this might be the way I plant switchgrass going forward. So I basically just sprayed it off with glyphosate. I think it was end of April, beginning of May, and then hit it again a couple weeks later when stuff started to start popping back up again. And I think in that first one, I also hit it with the simazine just to give the switchgrass a chance. So yeah, it looks like this is working pretty good. Hey folks, Doug here again. So talk about frost seeding a lot with the downburst seeder, and I thought I'd just show you guys an example of how well that actually works for things like clover. This little spot I'm in right here used to be part of the annual half of this food plot. I used to split it kind of just right in the middle here. So the side closest to us would have been annuals, typically rye and brassicas. And then the further half has been historically clover for several years. But so this past winter, I went ahead and just frost seeded, I think this is Durana Clover right into, the standing rye from last year. And basically all I did this spring was come in and mow off the rye that was coming back. So, this looks, I don't think you can get any better than this for some white clover. And that was about as minimal effort as you could possibly do as well. So, works really well. Yeah, downburst cedar works good for these small spots where, I've got clover right up to the edge of the brush here. And I did not spread any clover seed into that brush, so I'm not wasting anything. You plant right to these edges and get the exact seed rate you want down. So I'll try going a little slower, but yeah, this is looking pretty good. And again, you can see, so now my annual half is on that side over there, and you can actually see this perfect line of clover right here. Let's see if I can get my finger on it, where it kind of peters out into a little point here. But again, it's not something you can do with a broadcast spreader. It makes it really easy to get that seed exactly where you want it. And look right down the line of it there. So thanks for watching, folks. Hey folks, Doug Holmes, Downburst Cedars. So I'm out here checking out some the second switchgrass spot. So I just talked about the one bordering that clover plot. So this is the other area here, and I've got a video showing, I think it was like 1 month after planting. This is now 2 months after planting. And yeah, there's quite a bit of switch out here. It's probably hard to see in the video, but I would say most of it's shin to knee high. A few plants there. Yeah, so again, I think I'm so far happy with how this turned out. Again, I did a different method of prepping this all and planting it in the same spring instead of doing it the fall before. I'd rather be messing around back in here that time of year than right before hunting season opens. So yeah, I looked at my notes. I did the first spraying actually May 2nd of simazine and glyphosate, and then May 24th I sprayed it a second time with just glyphosate, and then like 2 days after that, so I think it was May 26th or 27th is when I actually seeded it with the downburst. Definitely got a lot of other little weeds and stuff coming up, but for this particular switch, I think I did do 10 pounds an acre, which would be pretty impenetrable if it was, you know, a drilled in perfect seed prep and all that. But, you know, not being able to frost seed, basically just, you know, spreading it on top of the drop seeder. I'm kind of not surprised that it's not as thick as it would be at 10 pounds an acre, but that's actually what I really wanted to go for here. Really just want to thicken up this whole area, leave a lot of these trees. So it's, you know, nice thing with a small compact seeder, you can plant in and around these shrubs and jack pines, scotch pines, and not have to take everything out to get a seeder in here to do this. And I'm not broadcasting and, you know, spraying seed way past the edges of the spot. So I think this will make a big difference. This is only 2 months old at this point, so based on that, and knowing how patient you've got to be with switchgrass, I think this is looking pretty good. Trying to find a spot where I didn't plant. So yeah, I mean, this whole area was basically like this, you know, less than waist high vegetation. Not a lot of cover for the deer other than the shrubs and trees, but I think getting some 6-foot tall grass in here is just really gonna hopefully turn this into more of a bedding area than it's being used as that now. So yeah, definitely happy with this. Keep an eye on it, see how it does. Definitely impressed with the RC Big Rock. It seems like it definitely jumps out of the ground better than the cave-in rock that I've planted in the past. So all right, we'll keep going and check some other stuff. Thanks for watching, folks.